take them off. Let yourself breathe. You really will feel better. Now we're going to aim for some pompano day, and I have to tell you, they're a very shy, mercurial fish. It takes patience and psychology. You have to believe it doesn't matter if you catch one or not. The sky's pretty spectacular. There's some beer in the cooler next to the crab salad I packed if you're hungry. Help yourself. Are you hungry? Thirsty? Oh, if you are. Okay, you don't want to lean over the bridge like that. Pompano feed in shallow water and you don't want to get too close. Wait, check your line. Yep, something's been munching while we're talking. Okay, so you take the sand flea and take the hook like this, put it right through his little sand flea rump. Sand fleas should always keep their backs to the wall. Okay, go ahead and cast it in, like I showed you. Oh, that's great. I can taste that pompano now. Saute with a little pecans and butter, some bourbon. All right, now let it lie on the bottom. And reel, jerk, reel, jerk. Look at your line. Something's calling, all right? Okay, tip the rod up, not too sharp. All right, now, hook it. There you go, okay, reel it in, reel, okay, let it play easy, okay. Now reel, oh, you're doing great. Oh, I can't believe it. It's a pompano. Good work. Pompano are hard to catch. You're an official fisherman now. We are gonna have ourselves a delicious little What? Well, I don't know how much pain a fish feels. You can't think of that. Oh, no, don't cry. Now, come on. Look, other guys are going to see you. No, you're real sensitive. And I think that's wonderful at your age. Look, do you want me to cut it free? You do? Okay. Hand me those pliers. All right, we're just going to cut it free, all right? Toss it back in. No, I'm not mad. It's just for fun, okay? There. It's going to swim back to its lady friend, and he's going to tell her what a terrible day he had. And she's going to stroke him with her fins until he feels better. Then they're both going to do something alone together that'll make him feel good and sleepy. Look, I don't want you to feel ashamed about crying. I'm not going to tell anyone. Okay? I can keep secrets. You know, men cry all the time. They just don't tell anybody and they don't let anybody catch it. There's nothing you could do that would make me feel ashamed. You know that. Okay. You want to pack up, call it a day? You know, I think I can still remember. There's a really neat treehouse right around here. I used to stay for days. I think it's still here. It was the last time I looked. But it's a secret place. You can't tell anybody we've gone there. Least of all your mom or your sisters. Look, we can climb up there, crack open a beer, have some crab salad. This will be something special, just between you and me. What do you think, BB? Hey, Bobby. Robert.
4 women, 3 generations sit at a kitchen table. On Men, Sex, and Women, Part 1.
Men only want one thing.
What? What is it they want?
And once they have it, they lose all interest. So don't give it to them.
I never had the luxury of the rhythm method. Your grandfather was just a big bull, every morning and every evening.
And he used to come home for lunch every day.
My God, Grandma! Your grandfather only cares that I do 2 things. Have the table set and the bed turned down.
And in all that time, Mother, you have never experienced...
Now, my grandmother believed in all the sacraments of the church until the day she died. She believed in Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny until she was 15. But what she didn't believe in was...
orgasms! Oh, now that's just something you and Mary have made up. I do not believe you.
Mother, it happens to women all the time.
Oh, and now you're going to tell me about the G-force, huh?
Grandma, I think that's astronauts.
Well, Mama, after all, you were a child bride.
Oh, it was legal what your daddy and I did. I was 14. In those days, 14 was a grown-up woman.
Oh, and now we're off on Grandma and the rape of the Sabine women.
Well, you were the one in such a big hurry.
I picture your grandmother out that herd of sisters just like a lion chooses a gazelle. The plump, slow, flaky gazelle dawdling at the edge of the herd. Your sisters were too smart and too fast and too scrawny.
Now, the family story is that when Big Papa came for Grandma, my Aunt Lily was waiting for him with a broom. And she beat him over the head all the way down the stairs as he was carrying out Grandma's hope chest.
And they were mean, especially Lily.
Well, you were robbing the baby of the family.
I still keep a broom handy in the kitchen and I know how to use it, so get your hand out the cookie jar and don't spoil your appetite.
Just one thing a married woman needs to know how to use, a rolling pin or a broom. I actually prefer a frying pan. It's great on a man's head no matter how thick the skull is.
Oh yes, sir, your father is ruled by only two bosses, Mr. Gut and Mr. Peter. And sometimes in the morning, Mr. Sphincter.
It's true. Men aren't like children, just like little boys.
Oh, men are bulls, big bulls.
They'd still be crouched on their haunches over a fire in a cave if we hadn't cleaned them up.
Coming in smelling like sweat.
Looking at those pictures like boys in a dime store with $1 in their pocket.
No matter to them what they smell like, they gotta have it right there, right then on the spot. Nasty, vulgar, primitive.
And just about then, Big Papa would come in with,
What are y'all cackling about in here?
Oh, get out of this kitchen. This is just for girls.
Oh, you better not be filling Mama's head with sex. Every time you come over and start in about sex, when I ask your mama a serious question like, what time is dinner gonna be ready? She snaps my head off!
Dinner will be ready when I'm good and ready. Now get out of this kitchen.
When making a left turn, you must downshift while going forward.
1979.
a long bus trip to upstate New York. Settled in to read when a young man sat beside me.
What are you reading?
He asked. His voice broke in that miserable equivalent of vocal acne. Not quite tenor and not quite falsetto either. He was appealing in an odd sort of way. Huge ears at defying angles springing forward at 90 degrees. He must have been shaving too, because with a peach sheen, his face was speckled with nicks and styptic. I have a class tomorrow, I told him.
You're taking a class?
I'm teaching a class. He concentrated on lowering his voice.
I'm a senior, Walt Whitman High.
The light was fading outside, so perhaps he was with a very high voice. I felt his interest quicken. 5 steps ahead of the hopes in his head, I slowed down, waited, pretended surprise, acted at listening, all the while knowing we would get off this bus, and he would then chivalrously insist on walking me home. We would converse in the street until I would casually invite him up to my room, and I was only into the second moment of conversation. I could see the whole evening before me. And dramaturgically speaking, after the slightly comical first act, and the briefest of intermissions, there was an extremely capable and forceful and sustained second act. And after the second act climax, and a gentle denouement before the post-play discussion. I lay on my back in the dark, and I thought about you, Uncle Peck. This is the allure. Being older, being the first, being the teacher, the translator, the epicure, the already jaded. This is how the giver gets taken. on men, sex, and women, part 2.
And you're being awfully quiet, Missy. Can't got your tongue?
I'm just thinking, just listening.
Oh yes. Little Miss Radar Ears, Little Miss Sponge, soaking it all in. Penny for your thoughts?
Does it, when a girl does it for the first time, theoretically, because I haven't done it, but does it hurt?
Does what hurt, honey?
You know, when a girl does it for the first time with a man, does it hurt?
Oh, that's what you're thinking about?
Well, just a little bit. Like a pinch and there's a little blood.
Don't tell her that. She's too young to be thinking those things.
Well, if she doesn't hear it from us, where is she gonna pick it up from? The streets?
Tell her it hurts. Tell her it's agony. You think you're gonna die. Especially if you do it before marriage.
Mama, I'm gonna tell her the truth. Unlike you, left Mary and I completely in the dark. You told us to go to the local priest. What does an 80-year-old priest know about lovemaking with young girls?
It's not fair.
Well, now see, you're scaring her.
Oh good, let her get good and scared. It hurts, you bleed like a stuck pig, and then you lie there in the dark and you say, why, oh Lord, have you forsaken me?
It's not fair. Why does it always have to hurt for girls? Why is there always blood?
It's not a lot of blood. It feels wonderful after the pain subsides.
Oh, you're encouraging her to go find out with the first drugstore Joe who buys her a milkshake.
Don't be scared. It won't hurt you if the man you go to bed with really loves you.
It's important that he loves you.
Why don't you just go out and rent a motel room for her, Lucy?
I believe in telling my daughter the truth. We have a very close relationship. I'm not going to scare her with stories about Eve's sins and snakes crawling on her belly for eternity and women bearing children in mortal pain.
If she stops and thinks before she takes her knickers off, maybe someone in this family will finish high school.
Mother, if you and Daddy had helped me, I wouldn't have had to marry that no-good son of a bitch.
It was good enough for you on a full moon and I hold you responsible.
You could have helped me. You could have told me something about the facts of life.
I told you what my mother told me. A girl with her skirt up can outrun a man with his pants down.
And when I turned to you for help, all I got was...
You made your bed. Now lie on it!
Please! I still can't bear to listen to it after all these years.
Doom, 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 doom.
While I'm far away from you, my baby, I know it's hard for you, my baby, because it's hard for me, my baby, and the darkest hour is just before dawn.
Dum, 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 dum.
Each night before you go to